Welcome in to the Chicago Bulls post-game show. Bulls take another big L. They fall big to the Milwaukee Bucks, 126-98. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us as always, man. It's your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Make sure you hit that like button, man. Make sure you subscribe to the page because we do talk Chicago sports weekly over here on this channel. It's the only channel that's talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talks. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. We will have Billy Donovan at the podium once he gets up there, and then we will have a few phone calls. We're going to start doing more like 30-minute post-game shows just because your boy's also doing Locked On Bulls and doing some other NBA shows in the evening. So we're going to start doing more 30-minute shows. But appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man. Like I said, hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Not surprised that the Bulls lost. Not surprised in the slightest that the Bulls lost. Not surprised in the slightest that the Bulls weren't able to come away with this. Not surprised in the slightest that the Bulls weren't able to get the job done. Do you know why? The same reason I said why the other night. You have to knock down shots. This is not Billy Donovan's fault. This is not poor coaching. This is missed shots. You shot the ball horribly for most of the game, and the Bulls think just if they have a good second or good third quarter, good fourth quarter, that they could come back in these games. Maybe it makes it more interesting, but I'll tell you this right now. It doesn't get you back into these games. It doesn't get you back into games like this. It just doesn't. Looking at what the Bulls did in tonight's game, they end up shooting 42% from the field. That is not what I think most of us would say we saw for most of the game, right? That is not what we would say we saw for most of the game from this team. What we saw for most of the game from this team was a struggle to shoot the ball. The players have to play. The players have to play. And your players right now are playing poorly. You got out-rebounded by 20. You got out-rebounded 53-33. Points in the paint. Tristan was supposed to fix that, right? P. Will coming back, supposed to fix that, right? Points in the paint tonight, 58-34. We can mention the free throw discrepancy all we want. Guess what? It's not that much. 13-20. I know people are going to come in here and talk about, the free throws. The Bulls didn't knock down their free throws. Bulls weren't getting the same calls, and I agree with that. I think that the calls were kind of going against the Bulls in some form or manner. Guess what? That's what happens when you play the world champions. Is it fair? No. Do I like it? No. But that's what happens when you play the world champions. We benefited from those same things here for a long time. But here's the thing you have to do. You have to play through that. You got to find a way to play through that. Guess what? It's not like versus the Bulls, Giannis Antetokounmpo is getting these calls. Giannis Antetokounmpo is getting these calls versus every team in the NBA. He's one of the highest foul called players in the NBA. Let me get this up here, man. We're going to go to Billy Donovan at the podium.
To get some easy baskets,
As we're breaking down and listening in.
I thought we started off
on what Billy Donovan has to say.
Good ball movement. I thought Bush was involved very early. He kind of carried us quite a bit. But then we had a stretch where maybe it was a 6-point game. I think they went on like a 14-0 run or whatever it was. But in some it was like, listen, I thought they made some really, really tough shots that we would want them to take, they made. And I think it was a night where they really, really had it going. Credit to them, and it was a night that we just didn't shoot the ball particularly well. And then I think like you're talking about, being able to sustain, like we did last night for the full 48 minutes to try to overcome a night where you don't shoot it well. We did not do a good enough job there.
Bill, you've been quick to point out when you think the disparity in physicality is an issue. Did you see that as an issue? I mean, you look
hit that like button if y'all in here, man. Let's get this mug cracking off.
Attempts in the paint at the rim. Do you think that was an issue at all? Because I remember you saying after I think it was the last game in Chicago that you felt that you matched their physicality, and that was kind of the first step that gets them to play to their level. Do you think that was an issue tonight, or was it more of a shocking game?
Well, the thing that was amazing to me is there was only 2 defensive fouls called against them in 24 minutes. I've never heard of that. I've never seen that before ever.
Really
I felt like we were
calling them
trying to go downhill. I felt like we were trying to get to the basket. The free throw discrepancy, certainly in the first half, created a little bit of hole for us. We kind of came out of the third, and I thought we kind of like battled our way back in. But then inevitably we had like just a couple plays where they kind of capitalized, and I think that's what good teams do. I don't know. There was some plays I think we certainly could have been more physical. And then there was probably some plays I thought we did a good job. Like I thought DeMar did a great job, in my opinion. Looking at it at halftime, I thought DeMar, created an offensive foul on Giannis in the first quarter early, which would have been his second. There was a no call there. There was some plays where I thought we had an opportunity to get to the free throw line. We didn't. But that's part of the game. Those things are going to happen. And like I said, I think that there was other things we needed to do. Some of it could have been physicality. Some of it could have been better communication, pick and roll coverage. Some of it could have been getting on the glass and blocking out. Some of it could have been rotating. It could have been a variety of things there. But I think when you shoot the ball the way we shot the ball tonight, everything gets magnified. And then you've got to be able to have an unbelievable amount of concentration and focus, and the stamina to do that over 48 minutes. And I thought we were sporadic on that.
What's the atmosphere like in the locker room?
Well, guys put a lot into it. They're disappointed. They're disappointed. I think it would be like I would want it to be. Personally, you want them coming in there and saying, "Oh, let's just go after the next one." They're always disappointed. Because I think they put a lot into it.
Is Devontae okay? I saw his logo locker room.
He's been dealing with illness all day today. He's just been a little bit under the weather. Nothing serious, but more illness. And as the game started to kind of get away from us, I didn't want to throw him out there. But he may have went back because he wasn't feeling well.
Yeah. And then last time we were talking about how with Caruso in the lineup, everyone's kind of slotting into different roles. Io going to the bench. It looked like last night that was a positive. Tonight it looked like your bench didn't produce for you. No,
I thought when we came out in that second unit there, I thought we really struggled there that period. That's where that run happened. And I think Patrick being just his second game back, and Kobe and I out there with DeMar and Tristan. And listen, DeMar didn't have a typical night like he normally has. He got to his spots. I thought he got into areas that he did last night, and the ball just didn't go in the basket. But we had a lot of, I think, in that group, and it wasn't necessarily one person. It was, I think, collectively the group, because I think we came in and we were like on some of our bench guys with -20s, and those are the kind of things as young players, for Patrick and Kobe and Io, being able to, I think, have a concentration and a focus on the things that are going to end up putting you in a situation where teams going to run, right? So we foul a 3-point shooter on a crazy shot that Connaughton's taken out of the corner. That's 3 free throws. That's part of the run too. There was a couple other plays where we drove the ball in there and we had an opportunity to spray it out, and we didn't. And we took some tough shots. And then we kind of, got hurt on some post-ups where we didn't help. So, like I said, there was a lot of things there. But to your point, I think that group, the one thing I really feel comfortable about with Kobe, Io, and Patrick is they're good workers, and they're really, really competitive, and they'll get better, I think, the more they play with each other.
I know you're not someone who likes to just flush and leave a loss like this behind you guys. What do you want guys to take away as you go through this tournament for a little larger stretch?
Yeah, I think sometimes the schedule, is unfavorable, when it happens to every team. I thought yesterday was a really hard-fought physical game. We had a lot of guys absorb a lot of minutes. It's natural, that you're going to come back into a game on a back-to-back against, clearly one of the best teams in the league. They're just coming off a world championship, that you may not shoot the ball well, and I really felt like our guys battled and they fought and they competed and they really tried. But I think playing against a team like this, you get to see that when you're not shooting it well, it's not even necessarily, oh, you got to play defense. It's like beyond that. Like you can't have breakdowns. Like it's got to be 5 guys on a string. Everybody's got to be working together. And there was some moments it was really good. And then there was some moments, like I said, it wasn't so good. So I think we have to learn the, that kind of, folk. We're not going to be perfect. And I don't mean to say you're going to have all these possessions. You can't ever make a mistake. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you got to be able to shut runs off. It's a 6-point game. You have a bad offensive possession. Okay, we got to make sure we have a better one next time. You have a defensive breakdown. Okay, that we're going to be better next. Those are kind of things you have to be able to do. Because you're not going to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. Listen, they probably look at the film and they feel like they've made some mistakes too. It's just part of it. But it's how how long do those mistakes go on? Do they end up becoming a run? And I thought there was too many runs in the game where some of it was things that we had an opportunity to control.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you. Yep, thank you.
So 9:45 and 10. I don't know who's gonna be
This is Billy Donovan, head coach of the Chicago Bulls, as he was at the podium. Listen, you have to look at what this team did tonight and realize that, like I said last night versus the Toronto Raptors, you can't have those moments where you're not scoring the ball for 7 to 10 minutes of the game. And I'm not talking about 7 to 10 minutes of the whole game. I'm talking about a 5-minute span on one, a 2-minute span on the other, a 2-minute span on the other, a 1-minute span on the other, where they're allowed to go on teams or they're allowed to go on runs. And it's not just this team. You know what I'm saying? I could understand it if we were talking about, hey, this is the Milwaukee Bucks and they're a championship team and they have a championship roster, and guess what? They're going to be tough to beat no matter what you do. I could live with that. I could almost live with that. But we saw that against the Toronto Raptors. We saw that against the Sacramento Kings. We saw that against the Phoenix Suns. You know what I'm saying? You got to do better. You have to do better defensively. Like there's no other way around it. And it's a learning process. Like I said, I told y'all against Phoenix, I'm enjoying this team for what it is. I'm not going to be one of those fans that just lives and dies on every single play that the Bulls make, because they're not there yet. And they have a real chance to go on a run here, but I mean that they're not there yet. They're just not. Looking at this team right now, after tonight, they're 2-8. They're 2-8. V360 says, when do we start blaming coaching? How do I blame Billy Donovan for Kobe White not knocking down wide open 3-pointers? He's on the team to do one thing. You know what I'm saying? How do I blame Billy Donovan for the team not knocking down wide open shots? How do I blame Billy Donovan for, in the first half, I'll say it, listen, the refs were a factor in the first quarter. The refs were a factor. They had 9 free throws to our what they have? They had 9 free throws to our 0. The refs were a factor in the first quarter. But you know what happened after that? In the second quarter, they got 3. We got 2. What happened in the second quarter that we couldn't climb back into that game? What happened in the second quarter that we couldn't fight our way back? Not playing defense. Not guarding the corner 3. What would you know what I'm saying? Like, the players have to play. They have to show the effort on defense. I'm sorry. Nathan says he didn't change anything up. He didn't use a zone or blitz him. A zone don't matter if you're going to double team inside and then they're going to kick it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what y'all want Billy Donovan to change that the players are going to execute. Again, I'll say it. I can't believe that Billy Donovan's in these huddles like, yo, leave them corner threes wide open, y'all. Keep doing what you're doing on defense right there. Nobody would say that. No coach in their right mind would say that. No coach in their right mind wouldn't be telling them to guard the corners. Billy can definitely call timeouts to prevent runs. I think Billy calls timeouts even like it's okay to blame the players, y'all. It's okay. We're not there yet. It's okay. It's okay to blame the players. It is. It's okay to say DeMar DeRozan didn't play well enough for you tonight. It's okay to say Zach LaVine didn't play well enough for you tonight. That's okay. We can do that. I know they're your favorite people. You probably got them plastered on your walls at home, whatever it is. But it's okay to say, hey, they didn't do enough. You know why? Because the players are going to blame the players. Because the players are going to blame the players. 77 in the building, man. 24 likes. Hit that like button for me. Enjoy this Bulls team for what it is, Bulls fans. They're better than what we were last year. It's still a work in progress. And it's going to be a work in progress into the playoffs. Is that going to suck? Yeah, possibly. Might suck, unfortunately. But if they're not going to get the job, if the players aren't going to get the job done, Billy Donovan
To manage your callers from the call-in studio.
You just going to start talking? That's cool. Let's go out to the phone lines, man. As y'all can hear, the phone lines are now open. Call into the show, 855-908-5668. Now, like I said, only going to be going for about 30 minutes tonight because we got Locked On Bulls tonight, and then we got a couple of other NBA shows that I'm going to hop on as well to talk Bulls. So appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. Talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talk. Let's get in tune with it, man. Let's go to the phones. Heading out to the 404. Q, what's good?
What's going on, Pat?
Hey, man, you honking at somebody already. My boy, what's going on with you?
Oh, I'm going to use that as my call sign when I come home. That's why I'm out here making that money.
What's going on
I'm
with
out
you,
here
my
in
boy?
the hills of Eyes country, man. I'm trying to get back down to the crib, man. Let me get up out of here, man.
I feel you.
So,
I feel you.
I hadn't talked to you guys in a couple of days. You already know what I'm coming with from the beginning of the season, right? In my opinion, it wasn't a championship contender. It's a building, right? The problem that I have, and it led to the call that I had the last time I talked to you guys, is that, if your best players are not committed to playing defense, and I'm talking about Zach and DeMar, you're only going to go so far. If we're waiting on Caruso, Lonzo Ball, Patrick Williams to save our defense, we got a problem with the leadership up top. Zach and DeMar DeMar specifically has had a fabulous season. Zach been doing his thing. I understand that he's, dealing with the knee. But if you're not committed, dog, as the best player to defense on the other end, bro, the team is only going to go so far.
Yeah.
With that being said, we right where we're supposed to be at, to be quite honest with you. Right? We were grateful and lucky in the beginning of the season that Philadelphia was going through what they were going through and Brooklyn was going through what they were going through. And we were able to capitalize on that. And so now, we're still going to make the playoffs and we'll see how guys step up under the big lights. But to me, it's the same thing. It's a building process. AK turned us into a winner.
Yeah.
Right? Getting Tristan Thompson to come here, that was big. That's huge from the standpoint of NBA players now want to come here. And you got to keep building on that. But make no mistake about it, we're not beating any of the teams that are above us because our best players don't commit night in, night out to playing defense.
Yeah, it's definitely a problem, dog. It's definitely a problem. It's something that the Bulls have struggled with all season. I mean, we've been talking about the same things all season, right? Hey, get out to the corner three, knock down, stop the corner three. Hey, appreciate the call as always, Q. Get back home safe, my boy, all right?
Yeah, there, man.
Hey, stay safe out there, man. Hey, hit that horn, my boy. Peace out, my boy.
Yeah.
Let's keep it going to the phones, man. Let's go out to the what we going out to? Let's go out to the 219. We got Maul on the phone, man. Maul, what's good?
Man, what's good, Pat? Man, you know I'm okay. I got to drink on some rum tonight. I need some rum after that bullshit.
I ain't mad at
you. And everything. Nah, man. You know, and it's a growing process, like you said, man. And like you said, I got to the point where I was like, yeah, enjoy the season for what it is. You know, the Bucks played like championship contenders. They played like teams that have been there before, that have done it, that have had success. I mean, there were times in the game where I'm looking at them and they're hitting shots, but I'm like, that's good defense by our team. They just knocked it down. Like there was one play where Io completely wrapped up Drew Holiday, and he completely got in Drew Holiday's way, and Drew Holiday just flipped it up and was like, "Oh yeah, it's going again. We're just gonna let that go in for you."
Yeah.
And those type of games, in those type of moments, you can't do anything. Now again, yeah, I could say the free throw disparity in the beginning in the first quarter was bullshit. But like you said, that doesn't matter because at the end of the day, Giannis is a superstar player. He's gonna get superstar calls. If you're talking about the last, like I brought up a scenario, I was like, the last minute of the game, Giannis drives to the basket. He gets a little, hit on the elbow and everything like that. I was like, for any other normal player, it might be a 50-50 call.
Yeah.
For a role player, you might get that 40% of the time. But like Zach or something like that, it might be 50-50. I was like, Giannis is a superstar. He's getting that 75 out of 100 times. You're going to call that on him. So you can't just look at it and like, oh, they got all these free throws. And yeah, free throws help you get into a rhythm of knocking down shots, but you got to learn how to play through that. And like you said, like Q said, they got to learn how to play commit. And the thing that sucks the most is that it's not like we started off the game really well. We were keeping pace with them. It looked like a boxing match. I thought we was about to do some, you seen Creed, I thought that we was about to do some Creed stuff when he was fighting Pretty Ricky Conley. He was like, oh, you the champ?
Yeah.
You the champ? Show me. They showed us.
Yeah.
Like, they showed us, like, yeah, we're the champs. Like, this is what we do. We've done this. Everybody here has experience, and then, we know how to win. And then, but the last thing I'll say before I let it go, I was like, this team needs to have a lot more anger in their heart. Like, you got Bobby Portis up there doing the "I'm eating you for lunch," stuff. Like that stuff like that should piss you off.
Yeah.
To make you want to come back and fight harder. That stuff, I'm watching him do all that. You got Giannis flexing his muscles. I'm up there looking at him like, bro, I really want to punch you in your face right now. Like, and I'm not gonna do it because you 6'11" and I'm 5'11" and 360 plus pounds. I can't do that. But like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I really want to go up there to Milwaukee and punch every single one of them in the face, just because that's how passionate I am as a fan. And that's what this team has to have. When they start doing that, that should make you want to shut them down even more. Like, you ain't doing that on me a second time. Now I'm about to really get in your ass and throw you off your game, whatever it has to be. And this team has to learn how to fight better and learn that, you're not going to get every card. They're going to show favoritism to superstar players and super teams and stuff like that. You have to learn to play smarter and understand your what's the name is your window is small, so you have to, hit it perfectly. They need to actually what they need to do in the offseason, everybody do box. Go box. Like every single one of them, get in the ring and box and get that thing.
Yeah, 100%, bro. 100%. They need that fight in them. They need that thing that's going to put them in the right position to keep this thing going. You know what I'm saying? And they don't have it right now, unfortunately. They don't have it right now. Maul, hey, stay safe out there as always, my boy. Appreciate you for showing love and tuning in with us as always, man.
Always be safe.
For sure. And that's the thing, right? Listen, you got to go through adversity to get there. You got to go through adversity to get there, right? You just do. It sucks. We remember 90 through 98. We don't remember 84 to 89. You have to go through adversity to get there. Heck, look at what the Bucks did. Look at what the Bucks did. How many times they went through the failures? How many times they got to the point? And I'm not saying that we have to be excited or happy about this forever, but right now, this is what your team is. You know what? As a Bulls fan, I'm happy that we're here. I'm happy that I'm preparing for playoff basketball. I just am. I'm happy that my season is not going to end at the end of the NBA season, and I'm going to be looking to say, hey, guess what? All of a sudden, we're looking in the draft to see if we can find that next piece because we have nothing on this team. There's something on this team. You just have to find a way to figure out what that something is and get that moving in the next direction. There's some questions coming in this offseason, but I'm happy with my Bulls team as a Bulls fan. I am. Do they got a long way to go? Yes, they are. Yes, they do. They got a long way to go. They're not a championship team by any means of the imagination right now. And them not having the fight down this stretch tells you that exactly. You've gotten embarrassed by this ain't just versus the top teams in the Sacramento just did this to you. You play the same way right now that you did versus Sacramento. If it was just the Milwaukee Bucks that did this, guess what? I wouldn't trip. If it was just the Milwaukee Bucks that got in on this, I wouldn't trip about it. You know why? Because they're the freaking world champions. But you've gotten beaten like this to the Sacramento Kings. You've lost games like this to the Atlanta Hawks. You've lost games like this to teams that are lower tier, teams that you should be better than. The Houston Rockets, the Orlando Magic. And early in the season, we said, hey, listen, they got to learn it. They'll get there. They'll get there. They'll get there. Guess what? They didn't get there. There's still a long way to go. Looking ahead to the next game, man, we got a game again Thursday versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm sorry, not Sundays versus Cavaliers. Thursday versus the New Orleans Pelicans. You cannot overlook this Pelican squad. You cannot overlook this Pelican squad. This is a squad right now that is 10th in the Western Conference. They have been playing better basketball, kind of. They've been playing more competitive basketball, I'll say that, right? And they're in a potential position where they're trying to hold on to a play-in spot here. They're not going to come in, or you're not going to go in there and just roll through them, cakewalk through them. You're just not. You got to fight. Where's that fight at? Where's that fight going to be at? Where's that going to come from? Right? Right now, how the Bulls match up, they're better in pace. The Bulls are better across the board just about. Except one area, rebounds. Guess what? You got dominated there tonight. You got dominated on the boards tonight. You just did. Are you going to be able to fight back in the rebounding battle? Are you going to be able to fight back in the rebounding battle? On the offensive glass, they are 11th in the NBA. Are you going to have the fight that it's going to take to come out with a dub in this one? That's the question on the table. I'll tell y'all this right now, man. I'm happy with my team. I'm upset about the loss, but it is what it is. This team is going to be what it's going to be. We're 1-16 or whatever it is versus top teams. And I don't think there's anything on this team, coaching-wise, substitution-wise, play-wise, minutes-wise, that's going to change that right now. Unfortunately, that's where we at, Bulls fans. And we're going to keep it pushing and we're going to keep it going. That's all right. And guess what? We're going to be right back in this mug on Thursday for Bulls Live Call again. As always, man, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us. As always, man, hit that like button if you haven't hit the like button yet. Subscribe to the page. I know I said it's a lot of stuff that y'all might not like, but tune in with us. If you want to cop some of this Windy City merch, man, some of that, talk Chicago Sports, how Chicago talk, man. Get in tune with us. We got the hats. We got the crew necks. We got hoodies. We got all that stuff, man. Check that out over on twcbreeze.com. Get in tune with us on that. And we'll be live for the live show tomorrow, breaking this one down. As always, man, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Chicago, y'all